Join us this week in the epic Aussie road trip as we continue our journey through Victoria. We're exploring the eastern end of the Great Ocean Road. This iconic Australian journey has been on our bucket list for a while, and we're keen to explore some of the dramatic coastlines and see some of the small towns, villages and other attractions along the way. So come with us and we'll share with you what we find. Welcome to the video. Loch Ard Gorge is carved into soft, constantly eroding limestone cliffs, ancient marine sediments shaped by relentless Southern Ocean waves into sheer walls, arches and offshore stacks that define this rugged stretch of the shipwreck coast. Along the cliffs and sea stacks, silver gulls and crested terns wheel through the wind and tuck fresh nesting material into the hollows, building their colonies above the surge of the Southern Ocean. More than just natural beauty, this coastline has a darker story to tell. Out beyond these cliffs, the Southern Ocean hides one of the coast's darkest stories. In June of 1878, after 3 months at sea, the clipper Loch Ard approached Australia in thick fog, unaware it was drifting toward the reefs just offshore. When the sun finally broke through, the crew saw the cliffs too late. The ship struck the rocks and went down within minutes. Of the 54 people on board, only 2 survived, an apprentice named Tom Pearce and a young Irish passenger, Eva Carmichael. Both were washed into the gorge, clinging to wreckage in the surf. Tom reached the beach first, then heard Eva's cries and went back to the water to pull her to safety. He later climbed out of the gorge to raise the alarm, while Eva recovered in a nearby homestead. Their story travelled around the world, and the place where they washed ashore has carried the ship's name ever since, a reminder of how thin the line is between the land and the sea on this coast. Standing on the banks of a beautiful little creek, what could be just a typical Australian rainforest scene. Behind me, these beautiful tree ferns, a lovely creek. It's just a beautiful clear little mountain stream. Over here, I think these are mountain ash. These are the big tall timbers that are valued for, or were valued for building, I assume still are, in Australia. Quite big tall trees. Then over here behind me, something really special. You don't see these every day. Now these are the Californian Redwoods. There's a small stand of them growing here. Have a look at that. These ones aren't even particularly big or particularly old. These were planted in the 1940s. We've been driving along the Great Ocean Road for a while. While that's pretty spectacular, it's also a bit crowded and a bit busy, which is a bit overwhelming for me. So to find a quiet little spot, you can have a bit of refuge away from it all and just enjoy a bit of nature. Not too far off the Great Ocean Road. This is very good for me. It's fascinating, you can see here some of the remaining branches. As the tree starts out small, it'll grow lateral branches all the way along. You can see the points here where branches used to be. Then as the tree gets taller and blocks out the light, you can see these little stumps here. That's where it's discarded those branches because they're no good anymore, because they're not getting any sunlight. So all the leaves are just up the top and the rest of it is all just trunk. There's a massive array of ferns here. I'm not familiar with ferns, I don't know the name of them, but it's a beautiful display. They all look pretty healthy, all growing new fronds. There are some small interesting towns along the way, worth a stop and a look. And while tasting a morsel of ice cream in a parking bay on the side of the road, just enjoying a little break, I couldn't help but notice these beauties. The yellow-tailed black cockatoo. We couldn't help but be impressed with the way that the ocean battering the cliffs has recreated this landscape again and again, constantly changing, constantly presenting a new face.
It was amazing to walk on these pathways through the vegetation. You couldn't see the ocean in some parts, and then you'd just come to it and it was sprawled out in front of you. It was amazing. Our day was mainly overcast, but we had patches of sunlight, and just to catch the difference of the colours in the cliffs and with the water so blue and green and the waves, it was really, I don't know what you can say. What do you say, Dusty?
Look, it was just a spectacular place. There's a reason why they've made this a major tourist attraction, and because it is such a beautiful and wonderful place to visit. And it's breathtaking when you see it in the different colours, the different shades of light, and absolutely well worth coming and have a good look at this. And we're really grateful we had the opportunity to come and see this.
Today was another wonderful day on our trip, starting with the coastline, learning the history of the shipwreck and just being there and experiencing. It was amazing. And then we did the drive up to the redwoods. I thought I would never walk amongst redwoods. They are just gigantic, overpowering. They're wonderful.
It was a really magical day. And like all magical days, they come to an end. And so will this video soon, but I'd like to say thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, well, please give us a like, consider hitting the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Alright, dinner tonight, Jane. What do you think?
Looks really good. Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, yum. Nice.
Good work, Dusty.